Hello, welcome to my channel. Today we have a John Doe, unidentified male, uncertain of his race, found in Blue Ridge, Georgia, March 23rd, 1995, estimated age 49 to 65 years old. Estimated year of death could have been anywhere from 1950 all the way right up until 1995. So if you have any loved ones, friends, family members that went missing, make sure that there's actually a missing persons report. Make sure that they're in NamUs. Make sure the investigators put them in NamUs. If you can't get them to put them in NamUs, try to see if you can't put them yourselves into the Doe Network as well as the Charlie Project. Skeletal remains found in woods off Ridgewood Drive near Blue Ridge, Georgia. Possible name, Freddie Akers. This is Fannin County. The remains were located March 23, 1995, in and around a partially dug grave, along with wrappers from a cigarette pack, a cigarette, and Western-style black pinstripe long-sleeve shirt, labeled Panhandle Slim, proud to be American, with U.S. flag permanently pressed. Wow, that sounds like decent, nice clothing, right? Unknown hair or completely bald. And I'm looking at this thinking that's his hairstyle. He's got a beard, he's got a mustache. That's probably similar what he looks like. And this is unknown or completely bald. Okay, so we're going to look at some missing persons. And I'm guessing they did that by the skeletal remains, hopefully, if they had a skull. Okay, the first one we have is Roy Andrew Guyton, no photo. Date of last contact, December 25th, 1992, Ranger, Georgia. He was 46 years old. And you can read some of the other information, 5'7" to 5'11", 190, 200 pounds. 5'7" to 5'11", that's quite a difference in height. He was last seen on Christmas Day, 1992 by family. All of his belonging, pets, and items inside of his residence were undisturbed. Black hair, gray eyes. And that is only 48 minutes from where that John Doe is found. So it's pretty close by. And then this gentleman, see how he's got the beard and the mustache? And I was thinking, well, he kind of looks similar. But they don't even know his race or anything. But I thought he looked similar. He was last seen in Winder, Georgia in 1985. 38 years old only, though. 5'11", 195 pounds, brown hair, blue eyes. He was last seen leaving Whitey's Hideout Lounge and Bar in Winder, Georgia during evening hours of April 8, 1985. He had just finished a pool tournament there and was carrying $4,000 in cash that he'd won at poker. He's never been heard from again. His black 1972 Ford Torino was found unlocked and abandoned in the sand parking lot of the old fort in Fort Yargo State Park overlooking Fort Yargo Lake on April 9th. The keys were missing. At the time of his disappearance, he was living with his girlfriend at the Bethlehem Mobile Home Park outside of Winder. And that is about almost 2 hours away. So it's not too far away. And then we have Joseph Albert Kreiner, missing June 1st, 1992, Marietta, Georgia. 57 years old, 6'7". He disappeared while en route from Marietta to visit his youngest child, Ursula. He had spoken to Ursula by telephone, promised to meet her on Father's Day for dinner together. He left his Marietta home and never arrived in Augusta, Georgia. No trace of him or his car has ever been found. He was born in Kissimmee, Florida, to Joseph Overstreet and Eileen Kreiner Mylar, and subsequently adopted by his maternal grandparents, Albert B. Al and Iva May Kreiner. In his youth, he was an accomplished athlete, and he served in the U.S. Air Force. He has been married 4 times and has children and grandchildren who are still looking for answers to his mysterious disappearance. And that's only about an hour and 14 minutes away. Then we have Roy Frank Laney. He was 45 years old. He went missing from Beaufort, Georgia in 1980. And you can pause this and read more if you like. He arrived home from work July 11th, 1980, and reported to have been in a fight causing severe injuries. Witnesses reported him being hit in the head with a bat. After the fight, witnesses stated he walked away from his residence and was not seen again. Brown hair, hazel eyes. Crooked nose due to previous being broken, one scar on forehead. Left index finger amputated at the first joint, walked with a limp. And there's his picture. And that's about an hour and 11 minutes away from where the John Doe was found. And then we have Timothy Guy, and he was only 18 when he went missing in 1987. And the GBI and Forsyth County Sheriff's Office have been investigating the disappearance of Timothy Guy, who was 18 when he was last seen February 6, 1987. Shortly before his disappearance, he had moved to Forsyth County from Snellville to work as a stable hand at Sleepy Fox Farm, and those were really close together. They weren't that far away. Employees at the farm told investigators that he was last seen around 9:30 p.m. February 6, 1987, he was headed to his parents' house, leaving with a man named Jeff. They don't give a last name. They don't say if he was a farmhand. They don't say if anybody knew him, if he even existed. He was said to be driving a 1972 to 1974 Chevy Impala. Jeff, whose last name is unknown, was described as a big-boned, muscular person who was about 5'10", 180 pounds, with brown hair and a beard. Jeff's parents were contacted by the farm manager 2 days later when Tim did not return to work. Tim's parents informed the manager that he had never come home. And that was about an hour and 11 minutes away. And then we have Lewis James House, missing from Toccoa, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, Georgia, April 19th, 1972, 51 years old, no photo. He left his residence on the morning of Tuesday, April 18th, 1972, to meet with an acquaintance in Austell, Georgia. He was last seen at the Seadrift Motel in Clearwater, Florida. Foul play was suspected after the bill of his sale for his Cadillac and deed for his property in Florida were determined to have been forged. Anyone with information on the disappearance is encouraged to contact Special Agent Deborah Loving of the GBI. And there's a phone number. Brown hair, blue eyes, partial dentures, previously underwent an appendectomy. Then we have Dennis Lawrence from Marietta, Georgia, 45 years old, went missing August 11th, 1982. 6 foot tall. He left the apartment to go to the bowling alley and never returned. Brown hair, brown eyes. And that is so suspicious. Tommy Dean Wampler, he was 49 years old from Marietta, Georgia, 5'6" to 5'8". Previously lived in Fernando Beach, Florida, and St. Simon's Island. He also had family ties to Arkansas. He was last seen in Marietta, Georgia, and last contacted family November of 1984. Brown, curly, sandy hair, chest hair, blue eyes. And then we have James Marion Hegidio, missing from Vienna, Georgia, December 13th, 1982, 5'11". He was last seen December 13th, 1982. I don't think that Toccoa and Marietta, Toccoa and Marietta, I don't think they're that far away, But then as we go on, I think it gets further away. Vienna might not be that far, I'm not sure. James Marion Hegidio, okay. Not sure how far that is. I think he went missing with a vehicle, it looks like. 1977 blue Ford Thunderbird MMD 667. Last seen December 13th, 1982 in Dooley County. 61 years old. And then we have, this man's last name was Akers, so that's why I included him, because they said they thought the man's name might be Freddie Akers. So this is Gary Wayne Akers. Went missing from Union, Missouri in 1988. December 1988. He was 5'7", 160 pounds. He left his home to go visit a neighbor but never returned. His car was later found abandoned near his home. Brown hair, blue eyes. That is so suspicious. Vehicle was located abandoned since a missing date, but near his house. So, then this man was all the way in Brunswick, Georgia. That's pretty far away, I believe. He was 73 years old, 5'11", thinning gray hair. This is pretty long. Charles Romer and his wife Catherine disappeared shortly after checking into the Holiday Inn, located along I-95 and US 341 in Brunswick, Georgia. They had traveled from their winter home to Miami, Florida, to their home in Scarsdale, New York, in their custom black two-door 1978 Lincoln Continental with the New York license plate CRR-CBR. The car has never been located. The couple checked into their hotel. They took their belongings to their room around 5 p.m. That evening. An officer with the Georgia Highway Patrol recalled seeing the couple's car south of Brunswick parked near a group of restaurants. And April 11th, the hotel management notified the police that the couple's room had not appeared occupied since they'd checked in. So, and they described the husband as extremely meticulous and unlikely to have deviated from his plan. So they did a massive search for the back roads and the swamps. They had helicopters and divers, but they never found him. Some men fishing near Jekyll Island reported seeing a couple matching their description. Investigators doubt that it was them, though, due to the time frame. He is legally declared dead 5 years after his disappearance. His sons made annual trips to Georgia to keep the case active. A diver from the initial search continues to search for their vehicle. So they've never been found. And I can't remember if they were the ones that had a lot of jewelry on them or if that was somebody else that had expensive jewelry. No, I think it would have been there, so maybe not. Oh, this is the Doe Network, so it might be on the Charlie Project. Then we have Terry Eugene Rouse, Rusa Rouse. He looks younger. I don't know why, that 24 years old. So he's not even close to the age. Missing from Waycross, Georgia in 1991. A witness said that he saw him 3 a.m. sleeping in his Thunderbird. Oh, yeah, he went to a party. So there was no hard evidence of foul play at the original investigation. Sometimes later, an inmate crew found a .22 caliber pistol in the area, but they couldn't link it to his disappearance. He worked in South Carolina for several months, up until a few weeks before he vanished. In all that time, he never waited more than 2 weeks before contacting his mother. He was facing drunk driving charge at the time. His cousin, Craig Lester Thrift, was found guilty of felony murder in the disappearance and presumed death of him, though. He admitted to beating and shooting him and throwing his body in the Okefenokee Swamp. His motive for killing him was because he was supposedly having an affair with Thrift's wife at the time. So, and the last one we have is Louis Eugene Barbero. He was 51 years old, 5'7" and 170 pounds. He was known as Anthony Robert Bob Marino at the time of his disappearance in August 1975. He was an appliance repairman in Baxley, Georgia. He stopped by the laundromat to see his wife. He told her he was going on a call and he would see her at dinner time, but she never saw him again. She found that all the money from their bank account was just gone, dark hair, brown eyes, and he's never been heard from since. So those are the missing people we have, and this is the John Doe that we have, and these are all, these are all someone's family members, someone's son, dad, maybe dad, brother. People love them and they don't have closure. So if you have any information about any of these, please contact authorities. Don't forget to pray for their family and their loved ones. Feel free to leave comments and have a blessed day. Bye-bye.